Have you ever wondered why do these people do what they do? Why does Nick go around um in with his health and with his body, with his story? Why does he wake up every day? What makes him want to go to the far ends of the earth to share his story? What is it about that swimming in the cold water across the ocean that gets her going? What is it about him that maintaining that discipline of exercise and diet and um, rigorous physical um, practice? Why is it that few people in Olympics or Paralympics or those who make some Guinness record, like why do they do what they do? Have you ever wondered that? Well, I'm sure you would have, as how I do. If you click on this link here, it should take you to a video that Nick talks about. It will also be in the description below. Um, it's really inspiring to hear the story. I would suggest you pause and hear the story and then continue with today's class. So, motivation definitely would probably be the theme of our answers to those stories, right? It is inspiring, it is motivating. So, what is it? That desire or that energy that drives, that pushes them to do that, to engage in a behavior, is what is called motivation. There are three aspects of motivation: activation, persistence, and intensity. It's important to start really well, to keep going, and do it really well as you're doing it. So these are the components of motivation. So yes, that is what we are going to talk about in this video. Different theories and different types of motivation. You can look at theories in three different ways: biological, psychological, and biopsychosocial theory. So you will see that biopsychosocial is the model that we often these days fall upon. So as I go through these theories, I want you all to think about your own life, your personal behavior, and see what theory kind of explains your choices and your decisions and things that you do in your life. Biological theories. There are three biological theories that we're going to talk about. First one is on instincts. So instincts are those that are not really learned but that we possess or inherit. Those experiences or feelings or emotions that we have that makes all us, not just humans but all species, animals all together, they form the patterns that are formed as a responses are instincts. So curiosity, self-assertiveness, or repulsion, or competitiveness are all instincts. And this explains the first basis of biological um, underpinning behind motivation. The other one is called drive reduction. So when there is a need, we engage in in a purposeful behavior that is targeted towards reducing that discomfort that we feel, which is an automated process in our body, which is for homeostasis. We want to restore that balance, so we engage in the behavior. That is drive reduction theory. So if you're thirsty, you're looking for water, and when you quench that, your body comes back to the balance. That is what the drive reduction theory talks about. The other one is optimal arousal theory. It says that all of us seek for some kind of arousal, some kind of stimulation to keep us aroused, for us to do that particular quality of behavior. So it's said that we are bored if there is no stimulation. We need certain level of average level of stimulation in order for us to perform well, right? So these are the biological basis. You will see in this, if you click on this, it'll take you to your video. It's also available in the description. That should kind of explain to you a brake system that is research has found that is probably not available in a person who is trying to do things that are thrill seeking or sensation seeking. What it says is dopamine is continually it is shooted from the neuron, it comes out, but then there is the brake system is not in place as much in people who are thrill seekers. The research sees it in a very different way. I would love for you to watch it. The other one is psychological theory. Here, incentive theory, this is slightly different from the drive reduction theory, but here it is about more like an operant conditioning that we have studied in learning. Here it is about how that piece of cheesecake or the apple pie actually pulls us towards eating. So it's hunger that pushes us to eat, right? That is drive reduction. But something that makes us engage in a particular behavior, that is incentive theory. The other one is cognitive theory. What reasoning or what expectations do we have leads us to do certain things? So it could be our own reasoning or reasoning about other person's behavior. That is cognitive theory. The other question I wanted to pose was, what do you think? Does paying money to get good grades, is that a good idea? Well, this was a study done where $2 was paid, and they found that yes, reading scores increased when the students were able to meet their goals. But I will talk to you a little bit later about why that was not a good idea. Let's go to the last theory. It is on biopsychosocial theory. In this theory, you see that Maslow's hierarchical model, where from down below is the lower level of need, and then we move up, there is higher level. Initially, it was believed this is linear in nature, but recently studies have found that well, you can be in self-actualization state yet not have your physical needs in place. Like Mother Teresa, she worked for others where she would go without food, but she was there to serve, not really caring of how it would impact her health, but she was there working, operating in this particular level. So biopsychosocial theory takes into consideration all the aspects of biology, psychology, and sociology. So different types of motivation exist. So you can think about it this way. You do certain things for your own self, you do certain things because of something else. So that is what is called intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation is the desire to engage in something that is inspiring to you from within, but extrinsic is that factor or influence that actually is because of some consequence, as in reward, or some certain expectations that we have, like getting a diploma. For some are extrinsic. Doing certain things like this would be intrinsic. So remember we spoke about the $2 given to middle school students. It was found that actually when continually giving people things that are supposed to be of intrinsic value, if extrinsic reward is given, it was found that the activity actually decreases. So that was not, in fact, a good idea. So I want to end today's this video on think a little bit more about what song or what movie actually motivates you. What is it about that song that actually is motivating, or about that movie that made you have all those emotions, So what song, what movie, make sure to add that to the comments, and let's talk a little bit more and reflect a little bit more on the video.